Is it? I'll let you lead this one.
Well, we can jump into some of these. I was just saying to Michael before the filming, there's been a lot of like very recent changes, particularly in August 2025, around Performance Max and around some of the setting changes and some more transparency for some of the channels as well as Performance Max. So I just want to quickly do a rapid fire of some of the bigger changes that we have seen through Google Ads specifically. So we won't be touching on Meta or Microsoft or anything there. Not that Microsoft really changes that much year to year, to be, and I wish it did. I'm rooting for you, Microsoft. I'm wanting you to push and be more innovative. Stop just copying Google, damn it. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, so let's go into some of the bigger ones. Michael and I already discussed some of these. So let me go back up to the notes here. So Performance Max upgrades, we talked about this in a past episode, but again, rapid fire. So we do have those shared negative keyword lists. We can put those at the campaign level now for Performance Max campaigns. You don't have to talk to a rep. Thank goodness. You can just do it all yourself inside the UI. We do have an upgrade for search themes if that's really important to you and something you closely monitor. You used to be limited to 25 search themes. Now you can move that into 50. Again, just focused on PMAX. And then we do have the ability, now this is a very recent one where we're getting transparency as to the placements, so the networks that these things are going on. Now before, you could pull that out of the Google Ads API through Mike Rhodes scripts or any of the hundreds of PMAX scripts that are now out there to look at placements, where your spend was going. Now you do have at least that data inside the UI, making it generally more accessible to a newer advertiser. Or if it's just like one less script you have to have running in your account, why not, right? So that's pretty nice. Any thoughts on that initially, Michael?
No, I think those things, whilst interesting, it just depends on if you use them. Once again, we're quite heavy on the different ways of using Performance Max, but it's good that they're allowing more transparency. It's number one. We were talking about this last time. Number one's always having transparency on data. If you don't have the transparency, it's red flag. But then number two is, with that transparency, can you do something about it? So even with the search themes, you can add new search themes in, but now you can add negatives in as well. So that way you've got that full circle and loop that's there. In terms of the placements, you can do some placement removals as well. So I think that gives you the ability to do that.
You know what I'm wondering, Michael? I wonder if, we could do like a broad match negative keyword on a PMAX campaign, and maybe that's going to do what I'm thinking, but why not negative search themes? Why don't we have like search theme exclusions? Now that's dangerous, right? Because it could go way too broad and we wouldn't necessarily know, similar to a broad match negative keyword. So just a thought. Maybe that'll be something that's coming down the line where you can kind of do these like search theme exclusions, but I could see it also being very dangerous. Yeah. And the other one,
think you look at your search themes, what's coming through, and you just put them things through as negatives. If you notice certain like words and just put it into broad match like PDF or DIY, like they should be negative, but just to put those things in that is constantly just cutting it down. That's been my approach for years. So
yeah, that's all we have, right? We have the negative keywords, but could we do a broader, almost like an audience exclusion, except a theme, search themes? Yeah. Anyway, so just to spitball on here. But the other thing to mention that's really important, it's my favorite update to Performance Max campaigns, is getting the cost level data at more granular levels. I love that personally. That is freaking fantastic, particularly the search categories and search terms. It's crucial, like literally changes the game, because now I can analyze with real data. Instead of extrapolated cost, I can really see how much we've been spending on certain areas, certain search categories, or specific search terms. This is fantastic, and it pairs very well with the ability to now do the negative keywords yourself. So make sure you guys are looking at that stuff. Don't ignore that. That, to me, is a really crucial update. All right. Going back to the next update.
Actually, just to add to that, that's a very interesting thing. Like having that transparency on that search term level for PMAX is like, it's huge. It's like what we wanted the whole time, to actually see search terms, not just search themes. Like you actually see search terms now. I'm just looking at an account now, and let me just go in.
You get cost per clicks. It's big.
We were wanting this for years, and now it's just like there, and you've got literally the full search term report like it's a search campaign.
It's beautiful.
And you've got the cost per conversions, and you can add in things as negatives. I think it's only until you've just mentioned this now that's kind of like, I'm like, wow, like we're actually getting that search transparency, that's transparency that we always got, not always, but like to the extent that we got on search is now in Peak Performance Max, which gives people more of that openness towards it so they can have their own discernment towards the quality of the traffic. The black box in the past was just like put everything in and just like hope that, you know, it's good traffic, or hope that it's not like all brand traffic that's just like skewing and gobbling up all those high return on ad spends, and then you're just funneling money in and then it starts to diminish. But yeah, I just want to say, like, amazing.
It's huge. I mean, now we can actually judge the profitability of these specific things we're showing ads for. Yeah. That's humongous. So yeah, guys, make sure you take advantage of that. Look into it. We can find it.
And you can have, oh no, you can't have custom columns in there. So you know, with custom columns, you can be using like offline data and then attribute to certain things. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these offline data points, and it's not actually allowing me to do that. You can't select this custom column because the formula it uses filters that aren't available in the current table. So yeah, it's good, but it's not everything. But
it's not perfect.
It's not perfect. It's not perfect. But it's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah.
We're making progress, guys. Keep the revolution going.
Yes, let's get more transparency, please. We're paying a lot of money for this, so let's get that and demand that. All right, next one is going to be, I think I'm going to skip a few because these are not as practical, but I want to talk about the search partner network and the transparency around that. So now we're getting site level search partner network reporting. So essentially you're going to be able to, I'm going to read Google's thing on this. So you can finally see if your search ads are running on random low quality sites. So essentially just being able to see.
Is that what Google said?
What we all suspected. This is what we all suspected.
You didn't say, wait, does the Google documentation say random low quality sites?
No, this is my translation. You know they wouldn't say that. You know better. No.
This is a diversified partner network of high quality partners, something like that.
Well, what's funny is when they roll out a new change that's like allows them to speak on the expansion of your advertising efforts, they blast that everywhere. But it's when it's like something like now you can have cost level data at the search term level. Where's all the like big announcements and marketing around the control and transparency? You're not really seeing that.
Why do you feel they're doing this? It seems random. They've never done this before.
What's that, like more transparency as opposed to less?
The search, like, can you even in the past were you able to see the search partners, like the sites it was listed on?
No, that's the update. Yeah, site level search partner network reporting. So you couldn't get that in the past.
Why? After
maybe they knew it was terrible.
25 years. It's like, why would you want to give people that granular insight towards it's like, you know, yahooxxx.com. It's like, this is a place they've had their black box for like 20 years. Just keep it. Like this is like a little slush fund for them. They just get an X amount of money every year and they don't tell people.
I assume it's a forced thing. If I had to take a guess, whether like privacy transparency or something else, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe it's a way to get people to stay on board with some smart bidding strategies that, you know, just stay on Google because people are leaving. Who knows? I wish I could tell you. I have no idea.
But then there's one thing to show it. Can you actually exclude it after then? Would you exclude the whole partner network?
I don't know. That's the well, you can, of course, so certain campaigns we can take them off, and that's kind of a conversation. Actually, I was going to ask you about is when we think through. This is a pretty common question. You know, hey, we're starting a new campaign. Should we include search partner network as a default, or should we, you know, just include it, right? Default, let it be included. Google likes to do that and keep the check mark in there. Like, just start with search partner network. Do you guys have a general best practice or way that you like to look at that?
I was going to make a joke, but like, man, we start every campaign with a search and display. It's the best. Nah, well, I think I don't know when I stopped, but I've just noticed that I naturally, like unconsciously, always turned it off now. But it wasn't always that way in the past. There must have been a shift. It just, I think as time goes on and with how Google's kind of making things a bit fuzzy around the edges, I'm just wanting to be more of a sniper. And yes, it may mean that I'm too constricted, but it means that within the client's budget, I can just get the results. So anything that creates any sort of murkiness for me, honestly, I just cut from the start. You know, search and display or search and search partners, PMAX with the assets, things on Facebook, like any channel where it's like, there's a gray area. It's just no. It's either black or white for me, and I just go with the things that I know that tangibly work, especially from the start, to get the data, to get the results. I'd like to say then over time I experiment. I don't. I just get more clients, just put more money in there, and then they get better results. That's just my positioning, though.
Sure. Yeah. No,
What
I,
about
I
you?
think there's a time and a place. I mean, a lot of campaigns that are going to be running larger accounts, we're looking for incremental opportunities. So sometimes that could just be a lever that we can test out.
Yeah.
If you're going to do that, though, I mean, you got to give it a fair amount of time, like maybe even a year. I would even say, just to kind of let it see the network through the ebbs and flows of your different seasonality, different promotions throughout the year. I wouldn't judge it after 30 days or 2 to 6 weeks or whatever the BS line is you really want to give it, like, if you can, for that new thing, maybe a year or something, to see overall whether it's performing. You might not have the budget for that, but again, we're talking larger accounts in that case. So.
But even the distribution of the budget, to be fair to Google, they don't really allocate much towards the search partner network.
No. I mean, well, sometimes it's surprising. Some search campaigns, I've been shocked, but I'd say those are more anomalies than the average. You know,
Yeah, it's
so.
only like a few clicks here and there, but the main things you just look at is how many clicks, the average cost per click, how much it's spent, how many results you got, and the cost per result, and just compare that proportionately to the main campaign. Sorry, the main Google search network. And usually, I think for most people, it just comes down to the cost per lead and the cost.
Yeah. And we're even getting any conversions. I've seen that a lot, right? Search Partners now has been on for like 2 years, and it spent $3,000, and we never got anything from it, and no one notices. It's very covert. It's just in there.
I know, that's the thing. It's such a that's what I'm saying. It's their slush fund. Why would they want it? Yeah, so that's interesting.
Right.
I do find that interesting. And is it revealed yet? I haven't seen it in any accounts.
No, a lot of these are still being rolled out. A lot of these are very,
Beta.
very new. Yeah. What's that?
beta.
Beta. Yeah. So just, I guess the real takeaway for you guys really is just now that we have some more controls over the search partner network, if you want to use it looks like we've got some additional controls in there, or at least more visibility into the quality of that stuff, so you can make a strategic decision whether you want to keep it going, give it another shot, give it a longer shot, or just go ahead and kill it, like a lot of advanced advertisers tend to do. And I speak to a lot of them. Michael speaks to a lot of them, a lot of agencies. And most of us do decide, just let's not do search partner network. It's kind of like it's not exactly the same one-to-one as like search plus display, but that's an obvious general best practice. Just don't mix the two networks into one campaign. Hello. Still see it. I still see it out in the wild, crazy enough. But search partner networks also tends to be, if you guys are looking for like a general default, most agencies are going to just turn that off unless they've seen historically that it's done well, but more than likely they're going to keep it off. All right, cool. Last one, last little quick update, because we got like 10 minutes. I just want to briefly mention and remind people, I know everyone's talking about AI all the time, and you're probably bored by it, but I do need to mention it. We are seeing more and more ads, Google ads, inside of the AI overviews and like sort of AI mode stuff in Gemini. So that might sound like, okay, cool, but what do we do with it? But you do need to consider, as that's moving into, that's becoming more of the future. You're going to see more and more of your advertisements in there. Double check your messaging. Is it going to make sense in that type of result? Right now, I would love it if we could say this ad for AI placements and this advertising messaging for non-AI, if you want to call it that, if that's even really a technical thing anymore. That would be nice if we could customize the messaging based on the placement in that way. But as of this moment, we don't have that ability. So just be careful about that. Maybe it's a good check to do a QA of your messaging. Is this always going to make sense across both search and AI results? And I also think for local businesses, this is a great reminder. If you have still been putting off for some crazy reason, you're optimizing your local, your business listing on Google, you got to get in there and do that. Because, man, I've seen some, just for my own personal usage of Google and looking up restaurants and stuff and seeing these restaurants that do not optimize their page. And they're in very competitive markets of other restaurants. I'm like, you are just missing out here. And the AI results are absolutely awful. Or when you're in Google Maps and you're using Google Maps, there's a lot of times there's like sort of an Ask Gemini, and it will crawl that listing. And if there isn't much there, people aren't going to get results, and they might just move on and choose somebody else. So that's very relevant for a lot of local advertisers as well. Yep.
Damn.
Okay.
Damn.